Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we're trying to wrap our heads around this three-dimensional list of roads in the Hex store here. It's a bit exciting. This is compiling right now, but we're running into an error here where it is out of range for some reason. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and say debug. Hang on. No, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I thought I figured it out, but I don't think I did. So if we debug.log I, then that'll tell us biomehex.roads I. This isn't right. So each biome hex would then have a list of the roads within it. Now, each list would then be indexed by the building hex. But why, though? We have 3 roads per biome hex. Okay. 3 roads per biome hex, and we have then something along the lines of... Yeah, we just have 3 roads per biome hex, so this only needs to be a 2-dimensional list. That's what I was thinking this whole time. I don't know why I keep going back to a 3-dimensional list. Now, this is going to cause errors, but this here... we want to be getting biomehex.roads and then just simply biomehex.onroadI. Because each biome hex only has 3 roads in it, we don't need another subdivision. So this here would be the same thing. Building hex R road equals biomehex.roads biomehex.onroad. This here, we only need to add in a list of building hexes. We don't even need to do that. I think we can delete this. In our hex store, we don't need to initialize this at all. We'll just create the list because we will be adding to the list down here when we generate the roads. So biomehex.roads building index.add current road. So I think here we can just say biomehex.roads.add current road. And I think that's it. It compiles. Let's see if it works. That does significantly simplify things. Okay, come on. Go ahead and unplay this. I want to regenerate everything here. There we go. So with it compiling, the question is, at what point does this actually work? Now we're going to still have some issues here. I'm pretty sure of that we're going to have to iron out. But the vast majority of our roads are working correctly. So let's hop on in here. Oh my, that was lengthy. That was because we are still outputting our indexes here. We do not need that to be happening anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and comment that out. That is now unnecessary, and that just takes a while for that to happen. We'll go ahead and clear all of this as soon as it compiles. There we go. Okay. Now we can come in here, and it's mostly working. So we can see that some of the intersections are still not quite generating properly. But mostly it's working. So then the question is, why are these intersections like this one here? This should clearly be a junction. This intersection should also be a junction. So it looks like it's the junctions that aren't working. Actually, this one would not be a junction. This would be a bendy junction. And then there's these intersections as well. Okay, so like this one should be an X. And then this one should be an X. This one would be a Y intersection, or like a trident. I think I called that an E intersection. So yeah, some of our intersections are not working correctly. Everything else appears to be working perfectly. So what's going wrong with the intersections? Well, let's go ahead and check. Also, I want to see if this is still happening. This here. Let's double check. I disabled that to make it so that I would be able to actually load it in and do some debugging, but now that we're not constantly generating, I think it's fine. And that might actually tell us part of the reason why this is happening. So let's go ahead and play this, skip the tutorial, in we go. Yeah, it's saying that some things are not on a road here. 100 things are not on a road. So I think that's telling us that these are not on a road. So let's go ahead and check this by going into here, selecting this guy, and finding element 9 here is set to road intersection generic. This is in this hex right here. This hex is 52, index 52. So let's check index 52 here. Let's see here, element 52. Buildings. We should have 2 road intersection generics. And indeed we do, element 55 and element 61. So both of these are apparently not on a road. Let's check on road here. So this is elements 55 and 61. 55 is set to 0, and 61 is set to 1. Both of those should be considered on a road. But it output here 9 and 55. Oh right, we're not on the center tile here. Let's go up to the center tile so that we can actually kind of see here. So this would be element 9 and 55, is that correct? Or just element 9, perhaps. I can't quite get in there. Yeah, that's element 9. Okay. Sounds good. So, the question then is, in element 0 here, element 9 is road intersection generic. What road is element 9 actually supposed to be on? Road 0. Okay. So it is actually on a road. We are within this switch statement here for intersection generation. Is that correct? Yes, this is an intersection for sure. Okay, so I have to assume then that something is going wrong when we are generating our roads here, our road intersections only. Like, this guy is rotated the wrong way, but mostly they seem to be rotated the correct direction, and it could be that he's actually rotated correctly-ish. I'm not sure. But first things first, we need to make sure that our connected neighbors are being set up properly. So our road equals biomehex.roads, biomehex.onroadI. And then if it's this, we add in a fake position. Otherwise, we do this. We add in sub-subhex manager, subhex is i.neighborsj. Which should be fine. And then we count our connected neighbors and determine based on that. So there might be a problem here. So if it equals road or if it equals road intersection generic. And if it is on the next road pieces or on the previous road pieces, and it's not already in connected neighbors. Okay. Interesting. There's clearly a problem with the generation of intersections. So I'm wondering if the next road piece and the previous road piece aren't being properly set. So our building index is being properly set here. So our next road pieces .building index .add next hex index. And then our previous road pieces next hex index .add building index. Okay. Is that strictly speaking necessary? Like the next and previous pieces, couldn't we get that from the road list? What do we actually use that for in the hex store? Let's figure that out. Okay, this is going to cause errors. Yep. So we're going to comment out this for right now. Only 4 errors. 2 of those are going to be assignments. Right here and right here. And then instead of saying next road pieces, what if we just said biomehex.roads? And here's what I'm thinking. So this is the next road piece, right? So what if we did biomehex, or rather, what if we did something more along the lines of current road? What do we have access to here? Our road. That's what I called it. So our road. And our road, what? This is, we know our index on the road. So our road I plus 1. Now, that might cause an error if index equals 0 or index equals our road dot count. Okay. So this could cause an error and will cause an error with our, yeah. So I think what we need to do is we need to kind of separate this out a bit, because we need to know the next index, but only if we're not at the last index, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just completely remove this out of here. So we can check to see if it's not already in the connected neighbors. And then right here, we can say if, and if index is not equal to our road dot count -1, I think. So if our index is not equal to our road dot count -1, then we want to say something along the lines of if, and this will be index is not equal to our road dot count -1 if, and then I can go ahead and paste this in here. This isn't exactly going to work as put in here, but this is fine. So if our road plus 1 is not what am I trying to do here? So we're checking to see if the I've completely confused myself here. We are checking to see if the next road pieces This whole thing was pointless. Okay, this isn't gonna work. I was completely confused on what I was trying to do here. So we just need to go ahead and put all of this right on back. Uncomment these. Uncomment these. Okay. There's that back. So the question is, I need to refocus my brain here. I thought I was on the right track, but I was very much not on the right track because the problem is with intersections. I was on the right track for roads that don't intersect. That's fine, but we need to be worried about intersections right now. And with that, you can have multiple next and previous road pieces. So I was completely on the wrong track because of that. Argument out of range exception. On World Hex line 257. 257. Biome hex.previous road pieces. That's because we did not do this. Okay. There we go. That'll fix that. And then the question is, how exactly do we go about fixing these intersections? Everything else appears to be relatively correct. It's just those intersections. Also, there is a bit of low-hanging fruit that I'd like to go after here, and that is, I'll show you. Nah, actually, we're fine. So, yeah. There is certainly a problem with the intersections. Like, these are connecting improperly. Like, this should clearly be a junction. This should actually be an X. And this is correct, but is facing the wrong direction. Which is intriguing. It should be facing this way. I think. So the question is, what is going wrong with the intersections? So to make this easy, I'm actually going to regenerate this, and we're going to go to map hex 0, and we're just going to be working only in the very, very first one. So let's hop on into here, and let's just dive into this. Oh, lovely. Let's just dive on into this and see in the center what's going on here. So we can see here there are two intersections. This one generated properly. This intersection did not, and I want to know why. So let's come up over here. I'm going to go into top view just so that we can see a little bit better. And from the top view here, I want to take a quick look at index 2. I think that's going to be the most important index to look at right now. So let's just look at, this is the biome hex. So let's just look at biome hex 0, index, or element 2. Element 2 here is a road corner sharp with a rotation of this, which is fine. It is on road 0, and we don't have intersections showing up here, which is unfortunate. I would very much like to see the intersections. But for whatever reason, a list of ints is not showing up. Probably because it's just a list of a list. So, the question then is, with this happening, and of course we've still got this going on, but I think that's related to the same issue. So, I think we can safely say that the intersections are not properly being put in. So let's come up here and let's just look into this and see if we can find here. So we add in the intersections here. We turn this into an intersection if it's a road and we are intersecting into it. We turn it into a road intersection generic. And then we add in to the intersections biome hex on road building index. And then we also add in I. And then otherwise, we just continue piling on by adding I. So it can be essentially a 1, 2, or 3-way intersection. And then we just know what roads we're on. When we're checking down here, that should be fine. It was generating perfectly fine before, so the problem is something to do with one of our changes that we made here. We know that for a fact, because it was generating perfectly fine before. So the building index equals sub-hex manager.subhexes.index of current hex. Okay, that's all well and good. Now, this here didn't even generate as an intersection. That's the key thing here, is that this right here, this is just a corner. When this is clearly a 4-way intersection. Actually, a 5-way intersection? No, that's a 4-way. That's an E shape. So this didn't generate as an intersection at all, which is certainly intriguing, because it's a road corner sharp when it should be at least some form of intersection. So if biomehex.buildings building index equals building.none, biomehex.buildings building index equals building.road, biomehex.onroad building index equals I, that's good. Else if biomehex.buildings building index equals building.road, biomehex.buildings building index equals building.road intersection generic, biomehex.intersections building index add biomehex.onroad building index, which was set here, biomehex.intersections building index.add I. That makes sense. Else if biomehex.buildings building index equals already a road intersection generic, then biomehex.intersections building index.add I. If current hex equals goal hex break. Maybe it's not a problem with this at all. Maybe it's a problem with when it actually assigns the road intersection generic here and determines the connected neighbors. Like, index equals rroad.index of. Fake position, current position, blah, 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 blah. That's all well and good. Connected neighbors.add. Maybe we need to be doing this a little differently. Like, hypothetically, what happens if instead of doing this, we calculate our connected neighbors a little bit differently? Connected neighbors are just a transform, correct? Or a vector 3, correct? Okay, I have an idea. This may or may not fix it. However, it is time for me to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to try out this idea. See you all then.